Good afternoon, everyone. It's time, but since still many people are joining, we'll start in 2-3 minutes once majority of the participants join. Good afternoon, everyone. It's time, but since still many people are joining, we'll start in 2-3 minutes once. So till we start today's proceedings formally, means do you have anyone has any question about last week's discussion? If you are carrying a question which was not addressed on the previous Friday, you can ask that in the beginning, and then soon we start today's proceeding. Okay, so we must start now. And since last week's discussion was very nice, means many people interacted with us after the formal Friday meeting, and that was inspiring. But I'll repeat a few things before, because some people have joined in this Friday who are not present in the previous Friday. So probably in every Friday we have to start with some few minutes of repetition. So in the last Friday, I started by telling you that why is this meeting? So since the result of different board and MSc, MTech, GATE, NET, etc. has come in the recent past, we are receiving many queries from people like whether civil engineering will be better, whether chemical engineering will be better, whether with AI jobs will reduce or not. But hardly any query about whether we can do BTech. People are asking about BTech civil will be better than BTech chemical or not, but not whether BTech quantum computing will be better than the other. And when we spoke to students or parents that, well, there is a possible career in quantum computing also, and normally people are excited about quantum computing, but hardly people know where are the courses, where to teach quantum computing, and what is taught there, what kind of courses one can do. So in the last discussion, we started addressing those things, like what kind of programs are offered in Indian institutes on quantum computing. Again, in another picture, many students are asking, means many of our graduating BTech students are asking for recommendation letter for joining quantum computing and quantum communication program or photonics program outside India. And when I ask that, why are you going out? So they have less awareness about the programs available in India. So we thought that we'll make some meeting. We'll talk about what we do, what are the opportunities, etc.
Adrizetan kuya suli ahise ko. Logo.
So, To begin with, I just share my screen for a while. Can you all see my slide? Can anyone, one person unmute and tell me that whether the slide is visible
Yes,
or
yes,
Yes, sir.
yes,
and it's changing also?
yes.
So we started with this, that opportunities in quantum technology, and the primary focus was the industry in general or global, but academic courses offered in India. And with this context, we started last time with these two news items that DST along with AICT announces undergraduate courses for quantum. And then academia takes a step, support NQM. NQM stands for National Quantum Mission, launching MTech in quantum technology supported by AICT. So these are recent news. So MTech quantum technology is truly interdisciplinary. People who have done BTech in almost all disciplines except biology kind of things can do MTech quantum technology. So if you are doing in BTech mechanical, BTech civil, BTech electrical, BTech computer science, and of course computer science is relatively close to that, maths and computation, all are eligible for MTech quantum computing. But at the same time, people who have done MSc electronics, MSc maths, MSc physics, they also have plenty of opportunities and to do PhD and also to do MTech in quantum technology. It's something truly interdisciplinary. For BTech program, there are few BTech programs at the moment. IIT Mandi has started a BTech quantum computing. And today we have Dr. Jashkaran Singh with us, who will tell more about this program. DTU has proposed a program, syllabus has been formed, and I'm sure this will be launched from this year itself. But even if you are going for a BTech in ECE, BTech in computer science, you can take a minor degree. So AICT has designed a model curricula for minor degree also. So a student who is opting for minor degree has to do 18 credit extra credit. So roughly one course in 6 semesters, and to get a additional degree apart from BTech in CSE or BTech in ECE, BTech in mechanical, a minor degree in quantum technology. So these are the initiative taken in the recent past, and among with other institutes, means National Quantum Mission, AICT, DST, all are supporting this. Now there will be labs in 100 places for supporting this kind of program. So as far as my affiliation is concerned, most of you know me, means I'm Professor Anirban Pathak. I work at JIIT Noida, and this is near Delhi where we are located. Somewhere we have a lab where we do foundation in quantum optics experiments. Now we are doing photonic quantum computing, and we also do optical fiber-based quantum cryptography. So this is showing a schematic of the lab where always the communication happens between Alice and Bob. Ideally, they are to be separated, but in a lab, they sit side by side. But this wooden boxes contain optical fiber of 120 kilometers. So there are two computers, one is Alice, one is Bob, but they are physically separated by a fiber of 120 kilometers in our lab. So many such things happens, but without going in technical details, we are saying that this kind of things happen. But there are institutes who are good in communication, photonic. There may be another institute who are good in superconductivity. There may be another institute who are good in sensing. So the MTech program is designed in such a way that the final semester is more or less the students are free. So they can, if you are interested, if you are doing MTech in an institute who are good in sensing and you want to do a project in quantum computing, you will have an opportunity to move and do this MTech project somewhere else. And we are talking about primarily BTech, MTech, minor degree, but MSc students can also take electives accordingly, special paper accordingly, and take the opportunity and take this bus. So there are primarily in National Quantum Mission, there are 4 verticals. One is quantum material. Material is needed for manufacturing anything. One is quantum metrology or quantum sensing. So using quantum technologies, sensors can be made with a precision and sensitivity which is not matchable by any classical sensor for the same task. Quantum computation is primarily for speed up, but there are many ways to build quantum computer. It can be photonic, it can be superconductive, it can be ion trap. No single institute will have all the facilities. But a student will get the exposure of some facilities and some theoretical knowledge and some simulators. And then of course, one can visit each other's institute. Then there is a quantum communication. Here, the primary task is to do cryptography. And in quantum communication, we can have the safest communication in the sense it's unconditionally secure. So as far as cyber crimes are concerned, we discuss so much about cyber security, you cannot have the corresponding security in the classical world. And quantum cryptography is pretty mature. So now, it is not expected that one student will learn everything. A student will learn the basic ideas of quantum computing, quantum sensing, quantum communication, quantum material. But then he will choose his elective papers, or he or she will choose his or her elective papers, special paper projects in such a way that they become expert in one direction. And each direction has, so we list the quantum domain, career paths. One can become quantum software developer, quantum algorithm scientist, quantum hardware researcher, quantum communication engineer, and many such things. And for that, there are multiple courses. So in the last discussion also, people were later asking me, where is the list, etc. So I list, and I'm sure this is an incomplete list, but these are the major people. So JIIT has MTech in quantum technology, electives for MSc and BTech, and minor degree on quantum technology. So we don't have any BTech program. IIT Jodhpur has a MTech in quantum technology, and today we have Professor Subhashish Banerjee from IIT Jodhpur. He will mention more about this opportunity. IIT Bangalore has MTech in quantum technology. On 3rd July, the next to next Friday, Professor Baladitya Shuri will talk about their program. DIIT Pune has a program on MTech quantum computing, and many people graduated from them work in CDAC Pune. And last discussion, we had Dr. Anindita Banerjee from CDAC Pune, and she mentioned that not only they have recruited people from MTech quantum computing at their campus, CDAC's other campuses has also recruited multiple people with the background of quantum technologies. And today we'll have two people from CDAC again. They will talk about. So one has just going to join, and one is working for a while in CDAC. So that will give you a feeling that industry is really interested in this kind of things. IISER Pune has a program. It's not called MS. It's called it's not called MTech. It's called MS in quantum technology. IIIT Allahabad has MTech in quantum information and technologies. Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology in Tiruvananthapuram, they have MTech in quantum technology. But IIT Mandi is very special. They have a BTech in quantum science and engineering. They have a MTech by research, which I forgot to list, but Dr. Jashkaran Singh will tell about that. And of course, DTU has proposed a BTech in quantum technology. So there are multiple programs. And in addition, there are minor degrees. So here is a AICT recommended course or MTech program in quantum technologies. And you can see that first semester is to bring people in the same path. As I mentioned, that people done MSc or 4-year BSc are also eligible. So if somebody is graduated in physics, he knows a lot of quantum mechanics. But there may be engineers who are good in other things. Say they know information theory, classical information theory. So first semester is to bring them at par. So there will be courses on mathematical methods for quantum technologies, principle of quantum mechanics, overview of quantum technology. So to give an idea that what happened in this field, just like what we are trying to do here. And classical and quantum information. So it is expected that engineers will know this from, especially the computer science engineers, but physicists will be new to this. But in quantum mechanics, physics students will have some idea of quantum mechanics, but they will not know much about classical and quantum information. So by the end of first semester, along with the lab, they will be ready and at par. Second semester will introduce to all the vertical. Introduction to quantum sensing, quantum materials, quantum computation and quantum communication. So by then, a person already had an overview and a specialized course on each area. Now one can decide what kind of elective he will take, whether he will go for communication path or computation path or sensing path, and accordingly they will take project. And final semester is only project here in AICT curricula, so that one can move from one institute to other institute and do the things they want to do. Now, this is the 2-year MTech program in JIIT, and it's more or less in the same framework, but with some elective. So just like principle of quantum mechanics as an alternative with solid state physics, and programming for quantum technology has an alternative with photonics. So one can choose as per need or whatever he has already done in the undergraduate program. And as like in AICT, fourth semester is free, giving the flexibility that one can go to industry also. So I'll come back to tell more about what we do with the quantum technology. But this part was repetition. But now, before I move forward, I would like to request Dr. Jashkaran Singh from IIT Mandi to tell a bit about their activity and the unique BTech program on quantum computing, which is going to start from this semester only. So over to Jashkaran.
Thank you, sir. So I am audible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you very much. I have a few things to add. So we actually have three programs running in quantum science and technologies. So the two that you mentioned, we are already beginning BTech program in quantum science and engineering from August this year. There is already an MTech by research program which is running. We are having students who are actively working on research projects in the MTech. I will talk about that as well. Plus, we also have a BTech minor program in quantum technologies as well. So maybe I will talk about all three of them. So starting with the BTech program that is going to be beginning this August, the idea is that students who have qualified JEE and who are appearing for IIT interviews, they will be offered the choice to take up this branch. And this is a very unique branch. So far, no other IIT is offering a proper BTech in quantum science and engineering. So the idea is like we will have some flavor of AI as well in this BTech program. Plus, 70% of the syllabus will be mainly focused on the quantum technologies and how they are, coming up. So the program is as follows: the first 2 years are common, as is the case for every branch in BTech. So common as in like the students will be taking civil, mechanical, electrical, or computer science. They will be taking the same core subjects, which are the introductory subjects like probability statistics, linear algebra, and so on and so forth, and some institute course and some HSS courses as well. So the first 2 years are common for all the BTechs, but after the third year, the major content of the quantum science that takes dominance. So we have topics like introduction to quantum computation, to communication, to sensing, to materials, and we also have labs corresponding to quantum technologies. We have labs where we can showcase the students how these technologies work, like quantum communication DBA-T4 protocol. We have optical tweezers. We are working on quantum Fourier transforms and so on and so forth. So we have an established undergraduate lab as well. Plus, there will be more lab sessions as well. Regarding the AI perspective also, so we recognize that some students they are more interested in the computer science aspects of like the quantum computation as such, and how it may link to the upcoming field of AI as well. So we also have a flavor of AI and data science in our program as well. So we will have topics like introduction to algorithms, automata theory, artificial intelligence, and so on and so forth, apart from the quantum engineering and science syllabus as well. So 70% of the BTech will be focused on uh, based on quantum science and technologies, but 30% will also give you a flavor for the AI and data science related aspects as well. So coming to the BTech minor program, that is available for all students who are enrolled at IIT Mandi. So, for example, you may be enrolled in the civil, the mechanical branch, or maybe in electrical or in computer science. So students can take this up as electives, further electives, and they can get a minor or a specialization depending on how many credits they do. So the core topics here are basically introductory topics to quantum computation, communication, sensing, and materials. So these topics are basically an introduction to the field rather than getting too much in depth of what is being taught in the BTech program. So the BTech program will be a fully fledged course structure over 4 years, but the minor is something which you can additionally take and try and decide whether you are interested, for example, in learning quantum communication, then you can take more courses based on that as well. So, but these will be mainly as an introductory level. Thirdly, we also have a MTech by research. So this is slightly different from the MTech program, which in which generally you take a lot of courses and then you learn about a specific subject. In this case, the MTech by research is mainly focused on hands-on experience, in the sense you are required to complete a project. You will not be taking that many courses to study. You will be taking few courses, approximately 15 credits of courses you will need to complete. But apart from that, the main core focus is that you will be allotted a supervisor. You will be working with that supervisor on an established project. So just to give you an example, one of our MTech by research person is working on developing single photon coincidence counters, 4-channel coincidence counters. He is from an electrical background and he is very well experienced with FPGAs and so on and so forth. So I am not really experienced with all those, but he is working with a supervisor who has extreme knowledge about all these things, and they are together developing a coincidence counter, fast coincidence counter. So the idea is to not just work on arbitrary projects, but to work on stuff that will be translated into some commercial product or something which can be used as a quantum technology per se. So that will give the student a very hands-on approach on what to do. Furthermore, there are I want to talk about the opportunities as well. So there are several startups in India and as well as internationally as well. So not only the startups, but the industry is taking shape in this regime as well. And people who are, who will be well versed with this technology will be sort of like pioneers in this field. They will dictate how the technology will evolve in this form. So, for example, if I want to talk about India, there is QPI AI, there is QNew, there is Confluence, there are several other startups in some industries as well, TCS as well, and so on and so forth. CDAC, CDOT, they're already incorporating quantum technologies in terms of communication, computation, and so on and so forth. So already nationally, if we talk about, there is already a growing interest, and people are actively looking for students who have knowledge in this particular field. So right now, we also feel at IIT Mandi, if you want to hire an MTech by research a student, we have to teach them right now what to do in the project. But we want this to be more of an automated thing, in the sense that if somebody already has good enough knowledge because they have done some BTech or some BTech minor program, then it also eases our burdens. Plus, in the longer run, this will help the industry to take shape as well. And they will be dictating how the technology develops later on as well. Because they will be the pioneers who know what is happening, how they are going to shape it, and so on and so forth. So that is all from my side. I can take a few questions as well if there are.
If I can see that there is one hand is
Yes.
raised, so you can unmute and ask your question.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah. So myself, Dr. Rajanisar Ali from Department of Physics, Central University of Kashmir. So some students here want to opt for quantum computing, but we don't have actually in the Department of Physics we don't have any facility for quantum computing, like any softwares or other technical facilities. But is it possible that external students get opportunity for the internship, summer or winter, whatever, in your institute? And what is the way to approach or way to get into that summer or winter internship?
Okay. So, Dr. Nisar, so let me just break down the question in some parts. So the first part is, even if you don't have, let's say, access to softwares and stuff, there are already very nicely available free softwares. You must have heard of IBM, Qiskit, and so on and so forth. So they are freely available. You can use them, and all you need is a Python library, which is again like freely available as well. Regarding internships, IIT Mandi also offers summer programs, and I think many institutes offer several summer programs. Plus, apart from summer programs, we are also looking for students to work on specific projects, right? So we are definitely open to, at least talking from the IIT Mandi perspective, we are definitely open to hiring students or looking for students who are interested in learning, working, and trying to come up with new ideas or technologies that can shape. So even if you are interested in any one of them, you are interested in learning, you can directly approach us and so on and so forth. So I suppose many institutes have this summer program. Plus, as I mentioned, we have MTech by research as well. So this is not a very course intensive structure. So even if you are from, let's say, an electronics background or like computer background or from mechanical background, you are more than welcome to apply for our program. We do not, at the moment, we do not require any uh, like even in introductory knowledge about quantum technologies and so on and so forth. We understand that this is a very new field. Many people are not aware about it, and many people are not even introduced to how the mathematics and technologies work. So we are right now fine with students who have heard about it and who want to contribute to it.
So,
Right?
so I want to complement the answer and add something.
Yes, sir.
So now in National Quantum Mission, at least in all this hub, we have some money to offer to interns. And from the hub, at least from Quantum Computing Hub, we asked all the member PIs, means or lead PI, to, if they want to take intern, then the intern's visit will be financially supported by hub. So this is one new thing, means which is specific to quantum computing and quantum communication, or all the things of National Quantum Mission. But then there are centralized programs, means apart from institute program, Indian Academy of Science coordinates the summer internship with respect to all the academies of India. There are 3 science academy: National Academy of Sciences India, NASI, INSA, and Indian Academy of Science. Being a fellow of NASI, I often take a student from this academy's internship program, which is good for the student because they goes primarily to the fellows of the academy, but now in addition to some more people, and it's all the travel and stay, etc., is supported by academy. In addition, there is a nice thing called NIUS, National Institute of Undergraduate Studies. So in NIUS, only first year BSc, BTech students can apply. And in the summer, they will be there. We all go there and teach some classes. And then we take 2-3 students each for the rest of their career, means for rest of the undergraduate. So remaining 3 years, they visit us, they go to conference, and all are supported by NIUS. So there are many centralized program. And of course, if without fund also, we accept that some student wrote that we want to visit, and if it does not come from any of the scheme, and so we ask whether you have a call, your home is here, or you have a relative to stay. So everybody takes intern, and it's not very difficult thing. The second thing, what you are saying, that about the running a course, if you want to offer an elective, you don't really need a huge infrastructure. Many of the quantum computers are free and freely available on cloud. Many of the programming things can be done with Python, Qiskit kind of things, and there are nice textbooks now. So starting a course is not that, and then if students take interest, then gradually you can buy some small analogy kits kind of things. Means even if you don't have a full-fledged quantum cryptography, there can be analogy kit for quantum cryptography. There can be analogy kit for showing bomb testing or random number. But most of the things can be done over cloud, and very nice simulators, real quantum computers are also available for free and online. So take an initiative and start an elective, and encourage your students to join for internship in other places also. So Manish Khare has also raised hand. You can ask your questions by unmuting.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Manish Khare here. I suppose thank you. I am from Pune. I am assistant professor in physics at one of the engineering institutes, MIT Academy of Engineering in Pune. Okay. My question is, actually, some part of my question has been answered by Pathak sir just now in the context of the earlier question. Basically, we have BTech students here, and last year what we have done, myself and one of my mathematics colleague, Azhar Sheikh sir, they have taken minor project some students have done minor project with us in quantum computing, basically simulation of quantum gates. And what we have used Qiskit. After analyzing Penny Lane and Qiskit and other portals, we decided on Qiskit, and we have completed that minor project. The good thing is that those students are interested in continuing with us further. The bad thing is, I'm sorry not to say bad thing, but the limitation which we are facing, that recently I have got access to IBM educator account, in which we can add up to 100 students. Okay, and being a this Qiskit advocate of IBM, and being having quantum educator account, is still I am thinking that what else apart from the online using Qiskit for simulation can we give them a real feeling of this quantum technology? Because putting the codes and pressing the execute button and then showing getting the results, that is also just like doing simulation is just like means the feeling is not that much hands-on. How can I help my students in this regard when they are interested? So my problem is not to get interested students. My problem is to keep their interest maintain and to uplift it further. I don't want to lag on my part as an educator in this context.
Your question is clear. Means Jashkaran,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
So, may I just add a few things, and maybe Pathak sir, you can also add a few more.
Okay.
So, I think it is very good that students are already coming to you and they are very interested, and you want to maintain that interest, and not only maintain it, but rather uplift their interest as well. So for that, you need some hands-on stuff, as you were asking. So definitely that is a good way to go. But so far, what I have found is, like as Pathak sir was also mentioning, the analogy kits are available. So for example, you have kits corresponding to baby 84 analogous experiments. Plus, you also have some small like you can develop. People have already developed some newspaper like experiments where they show some local quantum gates, which you can see. But these are all analogous experiments in the sense that they are not actually quantum per se, but rather using some classical resources, trying to show something which can be emulated on a quantum processor. Okay, so they are definitely there. You can buy some kits as well, but they are also very costly, I would say. So regarding like the hands-on, this is the way to approach. But if you want something really quantum, then things become really costly, because this technology is already upcoming, in the sense people are developing it, and this takes a lot of money. So those stuffs are like slightly complicated. But I would still say, like for example, there are several cloud on the cloud. Like for example, Qiskit is just a simulator, but IBM also offers their quantum computer on the cloud, but for some limited number of experimental runs only. However, again, as you mentioned, this will be just like a click and run thing, but people can learn a lot based on what is happening there. And if they are more interested, I would just like to publicize our own programs. You can ask them to apply to our institutes if they are interested in doing some tech or some projects. So we'll basically be working on quantum technologies around that area as well. And yeah, I mean that is all like I can.
So I just want to add that means there Kuafu is a set of computer. It's offered by Beijing Academy of Quantum Information Science, and you can have access to real quantum computer in Kuafu. Now we have a photonic 6-qubit quantum computer, which is different from real quantum computer, and which we have built as part of National Quantum Mission. This will also come in cloud. That's an Indian quantum computer. It's expected to come soon in a cloud. There are Q inverse by CDAC. So you just universe replace U by Q. That's a very nice teaching platform to, and with the undergraduates. So someday I'll show some papers which I have written with the UG students visiting interns, etc. So there are problems which you can get done with them. Especially you can look for algorithms, variational quantum algorithms kind of things, and encourage them to solve interesting problems, and which is publishable, as well as there is a large demand for algorithm designers in industry also. So I guess stop this round of taking questions here and request Mr. Karthike from CDAC Delhi to tell about little bit of what they do in industry and about his journey. Because many students have a question that if I do a course like this, I take a elective like this, do I get a job? If I get a job, what kind of things I do? So although Jashkaran, me, Subhashish, we all are examples who are earning our bread and butter by doing quantum technology, but Karthike is a better example. Karthike was a MSc student with us, and after his MSc, he first joined a startup, and that startup was actually established by a PhD student of ours. So once not only he created his own job, he created job for others, and then subsequently with that experience of working in industry, Karthike moved to CDAC Delhi, and over to Karthike for sharing his experience and any tips he wants to give to the would-be engineers and potential future students. Over to Karthikeya.
Yeah. Hello, am I audible?
Voice
Yes,
is,
sir.
please continue.
So, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. So, as Pathak sir already told you, my name is Karthike and I work at CDAC Delhi. So, let me just, as Pathak sir told you, I did MSc from JIT. Before that, if I tell the degrees that I have done, so I started with the bachelor's in physics, and then from there I did a master's in physics, and then I joined a startup. Basically, my goal was to go from to academy to industry only because I didn't wanted to continue long for in academia. So I went to like a startup. I worked in a quantum startup for I think so 1.5 or 2 years, and then I joined CDAC. Now CDAC is right now one of those government institutes which are actually in terms of industry that is actually invested a lot in quantum. So my idea today is just I'm going to give you an overview of how industry is looking at quantum computing currently in terms of India, and basically how Indian industries are coming up, and what I think, like for me, I did MSc, but I have also had some colleagues around me who have been working alongside me, what courses they preferred and how they got into quantum computing as in terms of industry, like to get into industry. Academia is a different thing. You can go from any course and pursue a PhD or anything, but how to go from industry. So basically, I did an MSc, but I had a colleague who did MTech from IIT Jodhpur, and then he joined CDAC. I have a few colleagues who have also come from BTech background in my startup earlier. So almost all the courses are like you just need to have the knowledge. Like quantum as a branch is where AI was a while back. In terms of industry, if you have the sufficient knowledge, any course gives you a good chance to go into industry. Currently in India, a lot of startups are coming up. Like we have the Amravati project, Valley project, which is funding a lot of startups. You will read news of startups such as Cupa AI, who are actually working on building a quantum computer in Bangalore. They, I think, they got a like NQM funding, and right now they have a 25 qubit supercomputer. And then we have Boson Cube and many other startups that are coming up for you to take part in. Then, as I told you, CDAC,
So is it
CDOT,
supercomputer or quantum computer?
yeah,
20
superconducting quantum computer, 24 qubit superconducting quantum computer. So basically quantum computers, as sir also told you, quantum computers are of different can be based on different technology. One of the most widely used technology that we have today is superconducting quantum computers. So they are based on the current direction. The qubits are formed in these quantum
So
computers.
to his questions answer, supercomputers, which we know as supercomputer or high performance computer, they are classical computer.
Yeah,
What Karthike mean is a quantum computer, which is based on, the technology is based on superconductivity. So it's
exactly.
not a supercomputer in the classical sense, it's a quantum computer which is using superconductivity. Please continue.
Yeah, because it's like as I told you, I'm working at CDAC. So CDAC earlier used to lead in India for supercomputers as well. Since you asked a question about supercomputer, so like as I told you about the Q Universe initiative, so there we have access to very strong simulators. So like simulators, like in terms of resource limitation that someone asked. simulators, we can use simulators initially, but simulators are basically they're limited by your hardware capability. So supercomputers, if you say, we can use build simulators on supercomputers, which will give you a larger qubit capacity. The advantage of, like, the reason we build simulators of high qubit capacity is because they are noiseless. Like, we don't get noise, so we can actually ideally simulate results and see what type of algorithms coming. So I am like, if I tell you right now, a lot of things are going on in industrial side in quantum computing. Hardware is one of the biggest investment. Like, currently India, the government has focused under an NQM to build quantum hardwares. CDAC in itself is leading there. Like, they have set up a quantum hardware, like a quantum computer, like 84 qubit quantum computer, in association with Regity in Bangalore. Then I told you there are a few startups that are setting up their own quantum computer or QPUs, like Boson QPI in Bangalore. And then this Amravati Valley is coming up. So, like, how this initiative and this workshop is, I wanted to tell you, like, the degrees that you prefer, like, a lot of degrees have been talked about here. All of those degrees give you abundant access to actually go into an industry. Industries are also coming up, and by the time you get an opportunity, more industries are coming up daily. Many startups are getting invested in. You can start from a startup, you can reach good industrial partners, and then we also have, like, big companies like IBM who are also hiring efficiently for quantum professionals right now. So if you want to go into academia, quantum is a very good field right now. And like how AI is, in 2 3 years we will be having quantum professionals with at that level. And that is the reason that I would say, basically, that, like, that's the gist of it in terms of the industry side. So that's where I would conclude.
Well, thank you, Kartikeya. And we can take 2 3 questions first, and then we move to Dr. Subhashish Banerjee. So if you have any question at this stage or industry specific questions, he was very elaborate. He told about many opportunities, and when all these things happen, like new Rigetti's quantum computer will have physical quantum computer. It will be easier for a student to visit and see, but seeing a quantum computer is not very interesting, and working on it is more interesting.
This
But
will also be available with Q Universe as well later on for people to actually use it as well.
yes, and Q Inverse is a very nice platform, and it's very nicely educating. The documentation is very good. So, is there any questions? Well, then you can raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask your question if you have a question in this stage.
Good afternoon, sir. Can I ask?
Yes, please continue.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Sushant Goyal, and it is such a very nice, inspiring seminar. Sir, I just want to tell you, like, I have done my MSc Physics in 2014, and it has been a long time, and I have got a small experience in optics also, physical optics, interferometry, and all those kind of things. And my major specialization was lasers. And during those years, I did finish entire quantum optics. I'm really deeply interested into more of the quantum optics part. But sir, these days I have been into school teaching. I'm teaching in a government school in Chhattisgarh, and also I'm pursuing a PhD right now. So I'm doing my PhD in density functional theory. But still, sir, like, when I look at these quantum technologies, because these MTech programs have been started recently, they were not there. They were not there during during a decade ago. So I
Yes, yes,
really miss such kind of things, and I have seen all those syllabus of this. All these programs and these open quantum systems, single photon detectors, quantum coherence, and all these things. Sir, these things really attract me a lot. I don't know a lot about quantum computing, but after doing like a good amount of chat GPT, I found like I'm interested into this quantum key distribution, like securing information in photons and all. Although I don't have any technical skill in it, I don't have a lot of technical skills in it, but quantum optics with a blend of quantum computing, I really want to pursue further after my PhD. So, sir, I just want to find a way. So, I want a guide or a supervisor or someone because it's I don't think so it's my age now so that I can leave my job and get into an MTech program. I'm 35 and a half right now, but sir, I'm always seeking a way to find an opportunity to work in such kind of things, because there is I just want to get back to quantum optics or something regarding
Sure,
quantum.
we understand your question, and it's very clean. Means quantum optics play a very crucial role in sensing, and quantum cryptography. All the realization is about photon because the qubit has to be sent from one place to other place.
Yes,
And
sir.
photonic quantum computers are also very interesting because they can work in room temperature. All other quantum computers works in very low temperature. So if the interest you have is very important, and even the other people who are asking that what kind of hands-on experiment students can do, you can design interferometers in your lab. So all the interferometers are very important. So if students learn how to do laser alignment, how to play with interferometer, that will help in the real technology building. Similarly, there are other electronics like FPGA. If you have a VNA, training students with them will be of help to them. But as far as your question is concerned, I would suggest that attend more seminars, lectures at the moment, follow your interest. And as soon as you finish your PhD, get in touch with anybody, be it Dr. Subhashish Banerjee, who will speak next, me, Shandeep, or Jashkaran, all the people who work in this field, and try to find out a place which is relatively nearer from you, where you can visit, you can interact. Because if you can use your weekends, and but it's feasible, and there are many theoretical problems also which you can do. But at the moment, with your teaching, with your research problems, probably you will not have enough time to continue three different things. But as soon as you finish PhD, we'll appreciate that you contact one of us, and we'll discuss in more finer details at that time. So
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you.
So any other questions? I can see two hands. Rani.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. I'm currently working as a software engineer in a, in a services company. So I'm already into industry, but I'm in our company we have a interest group, quantum interest group. So we are studying and we are learning the concepts of quantum computing and having a hands-on. So I want to understand as an individual, how can I level up and learn the quantum computing better? How can I, do the projects, actual projects, so that I can move into quantum startups as a software engineer?
So there is no single answer. Means eh, it's it's always learning by doing. Means the more you do, the more you learn. Eh, But if you want a specific problem, that depends on means what kind of things you are doing at the moment. Means, but say if you are in a computing and you are trying to learn, the best thing is to choose a optimization problem of your interest, and you can try QA VQE, variational quantum algorithms in general, and try to solve a real life optimization problem with that. Uh, but well, instantly nobody can suggest you a problem that this will be good for you, because one needs to understand that which
Yes, sir.
things you know and what things your company is interested. But where are you located?
In Hyderabad.
So the Hyderabad, there are many activities, and especially for as far as algorithm is concerned, IIIT Hyderabad is very active center. There are Indronil, Chakrabarti, Uttam, Shantanav. There are multiple and very Shammadev. There are many multiple and young people in IIIT Hyderabad. So you can physically visit and talk to some people, means how your interest can be further enhanced. In quantum algorithm, there is a person called Joyosri in Mahindra University. Then in Hyderabad, there is a startup also who works mostly on optimization problem for drug designing. And there is a in IIT Hyderabad, Alok Pan is a very active researcher, but his research is more on quantum foundation. So you are in a place which is very, very active in quantum related activities, and there is a DRDO also. And in first we started working with a DRDO called Anurag, but Anurag was closed for some reason. But now there are people who are in RCI, Research Center Imarat. They have interest on different aspects of quantum technology for perspective of DRDO. And if you want to discuss specific problem like this, I know this point and I want to use it. So probably we can make a one-to-one meeting. And in my first slide, I always show the phone numbers, but you can get in touch with the others also. So without continuing the questions at this layer, means I would move to Professor Subhashish Banerjee, who is from IIT Jodhpur. And IIT Jodhpur is offering courses on MTech program for a few years. And already you have seen that Karthike has mentioned that he has colleagues who have done MTech in quantum technology from IIT Jodhpur. And of course, they have produced many successful PhD students who are experts in quantum technology and working in various places. So rest you hear from Professor Subhashish Banerjee, who is from IIT Jodhpur.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you, Anirban, for making this meeting possible. I think it is a very useful initiative. Let me just give you a brief history of our activities in these directions. It has been now more than a decade since we started offering courses in things like quantum information and quantum computing. Before this, quantum missions came up, maybe because some of our research interests aligned in those directions. And then with time, as the mission started taking place, uh, our development also was aligned in that area, in the sense that we started a program called interdisciplinary research platform in quantum information, uh, which is still on, but the structure has slightly changed, and it is being handled principally by people from the physics, computer science, electrical, and chemistry departments. Colleagues contribute to that. So we also have been offering an undergraduate course in quantum information since more than a decade now. And apart from that, we have been offering courses in quantum optics and open quantum systems, which are of some relevance to these activities. Further, since about, I can't say the exact number, but maybe more than 4 years, roughly 4 years, we have been having an MTech program in quantum technologies, and some of the students who have passed out are doing pretty well in that. Further, a research program was always aligned with quantum information and computing. And in recent time, we also have a lab. We have colleagues who are trying to develop from a photonic base, on a photonic base quantum computing, basically quantum communication. And in this, we actively have collaboration with the colleagues from electrical engineering department. And very recently, the institute has started a BS in engineering physics program, which comes from the JEE thing. And there'll be a minor. I think this should come up very soon now. There'll be a minor in quantum information, basically. So these are all, and we also have got some funds from NQM, the National Quantum Mission, to set up a lab for these development of lab for these undergraduate teaching programs. So, so we, uh, so it's this program is quite active at IIT Jodhpur. That's what I can say. There are quite a few colleagues who are also involved in. Apart from that, many of these courses have already been highlighted by Anirban and Jashkaran. So they are kind of, obviously, when you do quantum computing and quantum information, the courses would be kind of similar. And as Anirban was saying, you can actually kind of make a map of the strengths and weaknesses of places, and then try to align your interests accordingly, and also use the flexibility. Like we also have an active summer program where people can come. If you can adjust to the heat of summer Jodhpur, you are welcome to come and do a summer program with us. But you can come write and come anytime. Actually, there is not a issue. We are quite flexible about it. Yes, thank you. I can take any question.
Thank you, Professor Banerjee. Any question at this stage? Any specific questions about IIT Jodhpur's program? So you can unmute and ask. And even you have a generic question, you can also ask that.
Sir, this summer program at IIT Jodhpur, is it only for students pursuing their degrees, be it BTech, MTech or MSc, or it can be like for working professionals like me?
Yeah, it is open for working professionals.
Okay.
Paramanandu?
So in case if I have something, I can communicate to anyone there.
Yes.
Paramanandu, you have raised your hand. You can unmute
Thank
and
you.
ask.
Good morning. Good everyone.
Please continue.
Yeah. I also asked also
Let Paramanandu ask first, then you ask again, Abdul. Paramanandu first.
I currently a research scholar in IIS, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, Dehradun. So I have attended a few of sir's previous sessions also, and it was very productive in that sense. So right now I am currently using all the techniques, but I have some questions to sir. That is IIT Jodhpur is providing any such kind of a future initiative through the online mode only, which will provide all the quantum aspirants, both working professionals, industry, academia, and teachers also, that can give us a hands-on experiences like things from different corners of India or any kind of programs like Sir has already mentioned about NQM, India AI, and all the collaborative programs under government initiative. But the students who are have a inspiration on the quantum level, but they not currently in the field of quantum, or their particular research area is not quantum, as Sir has also mentioned about Quiskit and Penilyn. So a few students have already registered there, but they have a very little amount of knowledge. So how we will develop that knowledges by our own through that platforms with government institutes and all. If Sir can provide that. Thank you, sir.
I could not get your message very clearly, but what was it? If I may
He's
summarize.
asking that whether there is a plan to start something online so that those who are working professional can also do.
Yes, there is actually. There is. I think this will be initiated quite soon, means within this year. There is a plan.
So to
Please
address
keep
your
looking
question,
at
I
the
would like to say
website
that
and it will be announced basically.
there are different places have some certification kind of course, means, but they are not very rigorous course, means some introductory course, and certificate cost differently, and IIT Delhi certificate is relatively costly. Some Coursera certificates are very cheap.
Friends, IIT Research Park recently organized such kind of a program. That is also very fruitful in their Rajarhat campus, and I have attended. So,
so that's a physical program. There is an online certificate program in which you want to come. You need to come only on the last day. So every year IIT Delhi conducts, and normally the last day lecture I give. But regarding the full phase, like a degree, means like not a certification. If for a MTech program or something, so there are certain rules for establishing CDOE, say Center for Online Learning. So the rule tells that unless a degree is awarded for 3 years, so you cannot start giving a online degree in the same thing. And to start for weekend program kind of things, that is another possibility. So at least one batch has to graduate before our institute can start. So many of these programs are new, but this kind of requirement many people are receiving. Just like Rani told that they have a company group who are looking quantum technology. So many people are interested, and keep in touch, means probably by next academic year there will be more things to discuss. But and this academic year there is no formal degree which people can join in distance mode or online mode. So only certificate courses are available in online mode. But this kind of questions have come and requests have come from many more people. So Abdul, you can ask your question.
So can I just add a little bit more?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, there are some certificate courses, and plus there are also some faculty development programs and some such things like that. But these programs can only offer you like surface level details about the field. So even though you might feel like you are getting to learn a bit more, but ultimately the knowledge that you will get from these programs will be very much surface level. You will just get a slight taste of what is to be expected in these fields. So these programs are there definitely. But if you are really interested in, carrying forward into this field, then I would suggest trying to get into some degree program. As I mentioned by Pathak sir as well, there are several places who are offering these degree programs. So they should be your first priority if you are really interested in getting into that of things.
So before we move for taking any other question, we just want to present another use case, means what happens if you do this kind of courses. So we'll invite one of our just recently graduated student, Mr. Hitesh Awasthi. So Hitesh just completed MSc last week or last to last week, and Hitesh will tell 2-3 minutes about his journey, what kind of internship he has done, how he has done internship, what kind of courses he has taken, and what kind of placement he has received. So over to Hitesh, just tell in 2-3 minutes, means your own journey. So students can mimic that, what can be done.
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Hitesh, and I have completed a master's in physics with a specialization in applied optics at JIIT Noida. So my journey started in quantum information through my interest in optics and quantum mechanics specifically. During my studies, I built a theoretical foundation along with practical and experimental skills. So the programming skills are also necessary for basically the quantum, important for quantum researches. A major step in my learning journey has started in my winter internships at IISER Pune, where I studied about Bose-Einstein condensation under Umakant Ropal sir. So there I studied how Bose-Einstein condensation, how the phenomena like laser coolings are being done, the MOT traps implementations, how they are being done using in the main applications of Bose-Einstein condensation. Later, I completed my summer internship at IC Bangalore. There I worked under Chandrasekhar sir, where I worked on characterization of entangled photon source, and I got the hands-on experience about the CHS tests and quantum state tomography. So these internship has specifically helped me out in understanding and combining the theoretical understanding along with the practical experimental skills, which are really important for my quantum research and my future. Then currently I've been joined as a quantum application engineer at CDAC Noida, where we applying the knowledge, where basically I got the offer. I will be working, the work profile will be about quantum computing, specifically the error corrections part. And the main goals of my journey is to contribute towards the quantum technology ecosystems, both research and the real world applications. And this is the job basically provide me the industrial applications, basically the experience how I can gain after my masters. And eventually my plans are to do PhDs and postdocs in academia part only, but I want to have some experience in industries also. So thank you, everyone.
So thank you, Hitesh. And this was a very nice example that even if you are not in a focused program like BTech quantum computing or MTech quantum technology, even if you are in a MSc program or BTech on something and with a minor degree, you have some groups of courses, serious courses, focused internship, then immediately after your degree, you can get a job. The industry is flourishing. There are more and more openings are there, and there may be, so just like today we had two such people, Karthikeya and Hitesh, who both are in CDAC, but in different centers of CDAC. So this is just an example. There are many other companies, many other startups, and including IBM, Google, Fujitsu. Ms. Rani mentioned about her company also has a quantum watch group. Recently, Bharat Electronics Limited, people discussed with us. They also have a quantum technology group now. DRDO is pretty involved. There are many groups in DRDO who works on this area. So in short, it's growing, and there are opportunities, and most interesting is that it's not narrow to a particular field. There are opportunities for mathematics people, there are opportunities for physics people, electronics people, mechanical engineer. So whatever be your branch, there are some open problems in which you can work, and there are some industry who are looking for you. So the idea was to talk about those things, to address those questions, and so if we are almost at the time. We'll be back on next Friday again at 2 p.m. and next Friday we'll have, among others, Dr. Henry from CDAC, who are the people who have designed this Q inverse and who is involved in the installation of the real quantum computer, which will be online and cloud access for Indian. The locally available quantum computers will be with the students soon. So still we can take one or two questions before we call it for today. So any questions, you can raise your hand or unmute and ask. Otherwise, we'll close it for today. So Rani, you have any more questions? Then you can unmute and ask.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Actually, I have mentioned that we have a quantum interest group at our company, right? So as a part of that, we are working on some projects. We have picked up few topics as use cases, and we started working on those use cases. So, so if we need any help or support regarding any subjects, for example, now we are working on protein ligand binding regarding chemistry. So drug optimization. So if we have any questions, so can we get in touch with anyone to
Sure,
get support?
that's always welcome. That is always welcome, but don't expect that everybody will be always free or able to address every query. Specific means faculty members working in this area are not also Google or ChatGPT. So, but if we can at least assist that what to read or who has the expertise or who has the interest. So suppose you ask a question which is not of my expertise, but it is of Jashkaran's expertise. I can advise you to speak to Jashkaran, or I can advise you to read certain books. But of course, this kind of interaction is always welcome and it's encouraged.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other question? So, if not, it was a very nice discussion, and we'll be back next Friday at 2 p.m. again with another set of people who will talk about their courses, their industry, their kind of opportunities, and we hope some new people will also join us. So if you have any information and you are benefited, please share among your colleagues or other students whom you know, so that people can take informed decisions about their career and consider this area also as something where there are opportunities and one can build their career and also contribute to the nation in future. So thank you all, and see you again on next Friday. Bye.
Thank you.